Commander Mara Vance gripped the armrest as the alien hologram flickered across the command deck's main screen. Heshkal's scaled face loomed, mandibles clicking in what passed for triumph. "Surrender your world primitives. Deliver your leaders to my fleet. Comply or we glass your cities." Vance's finger stabbed the mute override. No reply. She turned to her comms officer. "Kill all open channels. Global blackout. Now." Lieutenant Reyes nodded, fingers flying. Screens across the deck went dark. Billions of signals vanished. Civilian nets, military bands, emergency beacons. Earth fell silent. "Surviving satellites?" Vance asked. "Rerouting to blind network, ma'am. Quantum encrypted relays only. No traces." Good. The invaders expected pleas, bargains. They got nothing. Vance pulled up the tactical overlay. Human fleets shattered. Ground forces pinned, but pockets held. Hidden yards, fusion plants, scattered squads. Heshkal's voice droned on the archived feed. "This is your final," Vance cut it. She typed a single encrypted package, coordinates, timers, priorities, one burst to every verified human unit. Transmit, gone in milliseconds. Reyes glanced up. "Invaders are scanning. They'll notice the silence soon." "Let them." Rook's up first. Major Elias Rook crouched in the ruins of Norfolk Naval Yard, pulse rifle humming low. Wreckage smoldered around him, twisted hulls of carriers, alien plasma scars everywhere. His squad of 12 hugged shadows, exosuits muted. "Targets confirmed," Rook whispered into his comm. 3 cores intact, moving. Vance's voice crackled back, faint through the blind net. "Clocks ticking. Major Heshkal's patrols inbound. Extract and burn." "Affirm," Rook signaled. His team ghosted forward, magboots silent on debris. An alien drone whirred overhead, scanners sweeping. Rook raised his rifle, suppressed round punched through its core. It dropped without a spark. They hit the vault, sealed doors buckled under shaped charges. Inside, 3 black cylinders targeting cores from the last destroyer. "Intact, loading," Rook grunted. His Marines hefted them onto grav sleds, alarms wailed. Alien patrol skimmers screamed in, 6 of them, railguns charging. "Contact," Rook barked. His squad fanned out. Railfire chewed the deck plating. Rook rolled behind a girder, sighted the lead skimmer. His rifle spat, 3 shots, engine kill. It plowed into rubble. "Flank left, suppress." Grenades bloomed, 2 skimmers shredded, the rest peeled off, firing wild. Vance cut in. "Status. Hot but contained, cores secure." "Oscar, Mike. Relays show patrol reinforcements. Warp out." Rook's team piled into the stealth shuttle. Thrusters ignited cold. They vanished into the night sky as alien lights converged. Back on the command deck, Vance watched the feed pixelate to static. Rook's shuttle ghosted off radar, cores en route. "Next, Khatri," she said. Dr. Sana Khatri welded the final bus bar in the bowels of the Mumbai fusion plant. Sparks flew. Her team, civilians turned techs, hauled coolant lines. "Power curve stable," she called. Engineer Patel wiped sweat. "Pushing 90%. Pulse conversion matrix online." Khatri nodded. Civilian fusion, meant for grids, not weapons. But she jury-rigged it. Capacitors from EV factories, superconductors from maglev scrap. Now it could dump gigajoules in microseconds. Vance's packet had pinged hours ago. Priority 1, turn plants into hidden banks for the counterstrike. "Test fire prep," Khatri ordered. She linked the targeting feed Rook's cores would provide. Simulated pulse, a directed energy lance, invisible until it hit. Consoles beeped, charge built. "Invader probes inbound," Patel warned. "Thermal scan." Khatri sealed the access hatch. "Vent excess heat to the grid, play dumb." Probes hummed closer. Khatri held her breath. The plant looked civilian, powering a dead city. They passed. "Clear," Patel said. Khatri keyed her comm. "Commander, banks hot, 3 plants synced, awaiting cores." Vance replied crisp. "Rook's inbound, link up in 6 hours. Heshkal's fleet orbits in 12. Vance paced the deck. Feeds flickered, Rook's shuttle docking at a black site bunker, Khatri's banks charging. Global silence held no leaks, no begs. Heshkal's fleet stirred, probes multiplied. The alien admiral's voice leaked through a cracked channel. "Primitives hide. Deploy glassers, burn until they crawl out." Vance's jaw tightened. Billions dead already, cities craters, but humans adapted, improvised, while Heshkal clung to doctrine, overwhelmed, demand submission. Her console chimed. "Rook, cores installed, calibration complete." "Khatri, pulse array live, targeting slaved." Vance pulled the final overlay. Invader flagships clustered over Pacific ruins. Dozens, shields layered, guns hot. She broadcast the activation code. Blind net pulsed. Hidden banks fired, no boom, no flash. Invisible lances stabbed from groundside plants, fusion dumps tuned to overload alien shields. Heshkal's lead cruiser buckled first, shields collapsed, secondary explosions ripped hulls. Direct hits, Rays yelled. 3 invaders venting plasma, fleet alarms blared alien side. Heshkal's hologram burst back online, stolen feed from a human drone. What sorcery? Fire control, all ships evasive, panic edged his voice. Doctrinal fleets didn't evade ground fire, they bombarded. Vance smiled cold. Target second wave, Rook your turn. Rook's strike team launched from the bunker. Shuttles cobbled from wrecks streaked up, cores feeding live data. They hit the flanks. Boarding torpedoes punched shields already frayed. Marines poured in. Rook led the breach on Heshkal's dreadnought. Corridors ran with plasma. Aliens towered, claws slashing. Rook sidestepped a lunge, drove vibro knife home. Bridge deck, his squad carved through. Dozens fell, they hit command. Heshkal whirled, energy lance raised. How, your world dies? Rook fired center mass. The admiral crumpled. Bridge secure, Rook reported. Vance watched the feeds converge. Invader fleet fractured, half crippled, half fleeing orbit. Earth's silence broke, not with words, with fire, but Heshkal's last transmission looped. This pattern impossible. Vance keyed global alert. All units retribution phase, pay the bill. Scattered human forces rose, subs, fighters, ground batteries. The counterstroke began. Heshkal's remnants accelerated away. Too late. Vance leaned back, earth breathed. The bill came due. Vance punched the broadcast key. Fake distress pings flooded low orbit. Refugee convoy, life signs fading, coordinates pinned to a dead city's husk. Her command bunker hummed. Screens tracked the alien patrol flotilla. 5 sleek hunters, doctrinal V formation, shields glowing blue. They're biting, Rays reported from comms. Vectors locked, descent in 3 minutes. Vance nodded, no waste, no heroics, just math. Lure them low, expose hulls, crack them open. Dr. Khatri's voice crackled over the link. Lance charged, 8-second window max. Confirm fire authority. Confirmed, Vance said. Strip the lead ship's shields, Rook, sink your launch. The ground-built electromagnetic lance crouched in a Hawaiian crater. Civilian maglev coils, rerouted power grids, Khatri's jury-rigged nightmare. No approvals, no time. Alien lead ship dropped first, scanners sweeping the ping cluster. Its sisters fanned out, weapons hot. Flotilla in position, Rays said. Shields nominal, bombardment protocols spooling. Vance watched the telemetry. Invaders trusted their doctrine. Patrols sanitized stragglers, never lingered. Humans didn't fight back. Not after the first waves glassed the megacities. Khatri's counter fired. A silent spear of M Fury lanced up. No visible beam, just data spikes. Lead ship's shields flickered, blue to violet to gone. 8 seconds flat. Shields down, Rays whooped. Hull exposed. Vance's screens bloomed red. Alien alarms wailed across hacked drone feeds. The flotilla jinked, evasive spirals no doctrinal fleet had ever drilled. Boarding teams away, Rook's voice cut in, calm as gravel. His shuttles, welded from orbital debris, streaked from subsurface bays. Major Elia's Rook gripped his harness. His strike team rode silent, vibro knives sheathed, breaching charges primed. No chatter, precision only. Lead ship loomed. Shields flickered back at 4 seconds. Too late. Torpedoes slammed home. Airlocks breached. Marines poured through zero-G chutes. Rook hit the deck first. Alien corridor, sterile white, gravity artificial. Klaxons shrieked. A claw-handed sentry lunged, plasma rifle spitting. Rook rolled, fired twice. Sentry slumped, ichor spraying. Clear forward, he murmured into his mic. Squad fanned, 6 operators, ghosts in the vents. Vance tracked Rook's helmet cam, tight feed, efficient kills. They're adapting, she said. Flotilla pulling altitude, Khatri recycle the lance. Overheating, Khatri replied. 40 seconds, make it count. Alien boarders swarmed back, towering frames, armored chitin. They slashed with energy lances, doctrinal fury. Rook sidestepped a sweep, drove his knife through a joint. Blade hummed, severing nerves, the alien gurgled, collapsed. Navigation core deck 3, he said. Squad carved down, bulkheads buckled under charges, dead piled in drifts. Back in the bunker, Vance keyed overrides. Her drone swarm harassed the sisters, kamikaze runs, fraying their flanks. Heshkal's voice boomed across intercepted command net. Patrol leader report, what madness grips your systems? Static answered. Vance smiled thin. The admiral commanded from afar, safe in high orbit. Doctrine intact. Rook breached the bridge. Officers whirled. 4 aliens, consoles sparking from the M hit. Data slate, Rook ordered. His tech yanked the navigation core. Heuristics downloaded, jump vectors, fleet patterns, weak points. 1 officer charged. Rook met it head-on, rifle butt cracking mandible. Knife finished the job. Core secured, Rook said. Scuttling reactor. Charges planted, team exfiltrated, shuttles peeled away as the lead ship listed. Reactor blew, hull vented atmosphere in a silver plume. Wreck tumbled, shedding debris. Vance watched the sisters scatter. 2 pursued Rook's ghosts. 3 held formation, scans frantic. Telemetry leak prepped, Reyes said. Fake human panic burst, including wreck data. Do it, Vance ordered. Bait the punitive strike. Pings shot out, garbled logs, shield failure schematics. Rook's boarding vids sliced to look desperate. Addressed straight to Heshkal's fleet. Khatri's lance cooled. Second shot ready, target. Hold, Vance said. Let them come. Rook's shuttle docked bunkerside. He strode in, core in hand. Blood flecked his armor, none his. Navigation heuristics, he said, slapping the slate down. Their whole armada mapped, supply lanes, rally points. Vance scanned it. Patterns emerged, doctrinal blind spots. Humans exploited improv. Aliens clung to sims. Heshkal's response hit first. Command net lit, punitive wing vector to coordinates, exterminate the vermin source. 15 heavies detached from main fleet, accelerating hard. They're coming, Reyes said, eyes wide. Good, Vance replied. She patched Rook through to Khatri. Prep the next lure, we build them piece by piece. Rook nodded, wiping his blade, no grin, just work. Khatri patched in visuals, her teams swarming a second lance site, civilian railguns fused to fusion taps. Alien punitive wing dropped. Scans swept the refugee ghosts. Vance triggered the second broadcast. More pings amplified, desperate, lead heavies dove, shields full, guns live. Khatri fired, M-Lance struck true, shields stripped on 3 at once. Hulls sparked, Rook's teams launched again. Shuttles swarmed the gaps, boardings hit. Marines breached, cores yanked, reactors scuttled, wrecks multiplied. Sky filled with tumbling metal, first blood. Heshkal raged on net. Impossible, ground dwellers with no fleet, dispatch the vanguard. Vance leaked more. Wreck chains, boarding logs, feigned route. Punitive waves thickened. Dozens now low orbit choked. Khatri chained lances. Third sight online, Asian grid maglev backbone. Fire on my mark, Vance said. Aliens adapted slow. Doctrine said bombard, don't chase ghosts, they chased. Lances fired in sequence. Shields dropped across the van. Rook's ops rated 5 in 1 pass, heuristics stacking. Vance's bunker screens showed the pattern. Invader fleet fractured, detachments bleeding into the trap. Heshkal's hologram flickered, hacked feed. His crest flared red. This pattern, sorcery, pull back. Too late, human subs surface Pacific-wide, missiles ripping stragglers, fighters refitted civ craft, swarmed high alt. Rook returned, cores piled. Their jumps plotted, we hit the yards next. Vance keyed global. Retribution escalates, all assets phase 2. Earth's remnants stirred, billboards repurposed as jammers, factories spat drones. Khatri's labs birthed viruses for alien nets. Heshkal's main fleet loomed, but gaps yawned, raided patrols, lost heuristics. Vance leaned in. Rook, gear up, Khatri, scale the lances, we own low orbit. First punitive lead exploded, debris rained, glowing trails, sky bled metal, humanity's shot landed, alien secondments piled in. Doctrinal hammer swung blind, Vance's traps snapped shut. Khatri's fourth lance, a monster from Siberian rails, fired wide, 5 heavies shieldless. Rook led the swarm, shuttles punched hulls, Marines danced corridors, knives singing. 1 alien boarder pinned Rook's flank man, claws rended armor. Rook spun, rifle barked, saved the Marine. Pushed on. Bridge, he growled, core ripped free, Heshkal's net choked with pleas. Shields fail, borders everywhere. Vance fed the chaos back. Leaks painted humans desperate, cracking, truth hid in the math. Each raid fed the next, heuristics built the map. Punitive fleet halved, remnants fled high, Heshkal committed. Vanguard full assault, end this. Hundreds dove, low-orbit swarm, Khatri's lances peaked, 6 sights synced, fired as one, shields collapsed fleet-wide, hulls peeled, Rook's grand raid launched. Hundreds of ops cobbled shuttles, they hit the Vanguard core. Bridges fell, cores stolen, wrecks carpeted descent, metal rain scorched re-entry. Vance watched Heshkal's dreadnought hold high, alone now. Prep the hammer, she told Khatri. Rook patched, all heuristics. Their heart mapped. Earth forces converged. Subs, fighters, batteries, Bildu, Heshkal broadcast. Primitives yield, Vance smiled. Rook, your dreadnought awaits. Shields collapsed. Secondary explosions ripped hulls. Direct hits, Rays yelled. 3 invaders venting plasma? But that was later. Here in the cradle, Vance keyed the next Vance slammed the override switch. Decoy bunkers flared to life on her tactical grid, 6 false command nodes pulsing with fabricated signals across the Siberian wastes. Invader targeting pings locked on instantly. Orbital lances stabbed down, glassing the empty hulls she'd rigged from derelict railgun silos. They're biting, Rays reported from the sensor pit. Full barrage cycle committed, 80% firepower locked. Vance nodded once. No smile. Wasted ordnance meant breathing room. Her real command cradle hunkered deep under reinforced permafrost, invisible amid the decoy swarm. Earth's grid teetered, cities ash, fleets vapor, but she refused Pyrrhic stands. Systems engineering demanded efficiency. Bait the pattern, bleed the enemy dry. Heshkal's fleet hung in low orbit, a glittering noose of 200 dreadnoughts and escorts. Their doctrine screamed predictability, overwhelm with firepower, then land. Vance exploited it. 1 cycle down, 5 heavies capacitors drained. Reload times clocked at 17 minutes. Human railguns spun up in the gap. Landing columns inbound, Rays said. Vectors confirmed, Urals primary, secondary forks to Volga. Vance keyed the ground net. Rook, your windows narrow, column alpha pinned. Static crackled, then Rook's voice cut through, flat, precise. Affirm, ambushes set, give us the green. She watched the overlay. Rook's spec ops swarmed the taiga fringes. 200 Marines in adaptive camo, jury-rigged exosuits from factory drones. No heroics, just blades and suppressed rifles. The alien column thundered down the valley, 6 landers disgorging walkers and troops, relay drone orbiting overhead like a fat metallic wasp. Green light, Vance said. Erase the escorts first. Rook's team struck without reply. Thermal blooms erupted on her feed. Shaped charges cracked walker legs, toppling the beasts into ravines. Marines ghosted from snowbanks, breaching lander ramps. Alien screams echoed via hacked comms, high-pitched warbles translating to fractured English. Ambush. Relay secure the core? Vance leaned forward. The drone hovered, broadcasting formations fleet-wide, if Rook nabbed it intact. A Marine icon winked out. Then 2, Rook's marker held steady, pushing the breach. Flank secured, he patched. Drone netted, bringing it in. She exhaled, primary goal met. Secondary explosions lit the valley, landers' fusion cores breached. Column Alpha reduced to scrap in 90 seconds. Heshkal's response lagged, no adaptive pivot, just more lances raining blind. Drone inbound, Rays announced. ETA 12 minutes, Khatri's team prepped. Vance vectored a fighter wing overhead, stolen alien shuttles retrofitted with human missiles. They shredded stragglers mid-lift, no pursuit. Invaders consolidated, blind to the prize. The cradle hatch hissed. Doctor. Sana Khatri strode in, drone cradle slung over her shoulder like luggage. Grease streaked her lab coat, tools clinked in pockets. No fanfare. Patch viable, she said, slamming it onto the integration rack. Their encryption's a joke, rotor-based with quantum backdoors, I'm in. Vance cleared the deck. Khatri's fingers flew. Sparks flew from jury-rigged cables, civilian fiber optics lashed to mil-spec servers. The drone's core word hijacked. Real-time feeds flooded Vance's grid, enemy formations unmasked. Landing zones glowed, 3 primaries massing in the Urals, troop dispositions, shield harmonics, even capacitor recharge queues. Beautiful, Vance murmured. Information asymmetry. Invaders brought firepower, humans stole the eyes. Heshkal's voice boomed across open channels, translated gravelly. Primitives scatter like vermin, doctrine holds, Vanguard deploys full. Vance ignored the bluster, her counterstrike rolled. Rays, sink all batteries, Khatri, feed locked. Locked and spoofed, Khatri replied. They see ghosts in their own net. Railgun batteries, Siberian monsters half-melted but spinning, trained on Zone 1. Subs in the Arctic surged silent, torpedoes hot. Fighters looped low. Vance triggered the wave, first strike hit like thunder. Urals Zone 1, shields flickered under drone-spoofed overloads. Human slugs punched through, core strikes vaporizing landers mid-unload. 200 invaders gone. Zone 2 folded next, submarine barrages cracked the valley floor, burying walkers in rubble. Rook's teams mopped remnants, knives flashing in night vision feeds. Heshcal raged on comms. Impossible, sensors lie, regroup. Zone 3 never regrouped. Fighters swarmed, missiles guided by stolen precision. Escorts shredded, troops cooked in their bays, 3 zones erased. Invader foothold crumbled before it rooted. Vance watched the math. Enemy landing stalled, 40% forces uncommitted, orbiting useless. Human losses minimal. Rook's raid cost 12 Marines, decoys bought the hour. Drone flipped the board. They're adapting, Rays warned. Shields rotating frequencies, net chatter spikes. Vance keyed Rook. Regroup at fallback, drone data downloaded. Full heuristics, Rook replied. Patterns mapped, next column's ours. She allowed a tight smile, bill accruing. Heshcal committed deeper, Vanguard fleets dove, hundreds strong. But now Vance held the ledger. Khatri yanked her cables free. Drone's a Trojan now, it'll feed them bad vectors on cue. Perfect. Vance plotted the next roll, faint retreats lure the hammer down. Earth forces converged, subs, fighters, every battery with slugs left. No mercy, please, just interest compounding. Heshcal broadcast wide, yield humans, your cradle burns. Vance patched back, voice steel. Bills due, Admiral, pay up. Her grid lit with the swarm. Low orbit boiled. Khatri's rail lances, upgraded civilian heavies, synced across 6 sites. They fired as one. Shields collapsed fleet-wide. Hulls peeled back. Rook's grand raid launched. Cobbled shuttles punched the Vanguard core. Bridges fell silent. Cores ripped free. Rex carpeted the descent. Metal rain scorched re-entry, but Heshcal's dreadnought held high. Alone, prep the hammer, Vance told Khatri. Rook patched through, all heuristics, their heart mapped. Convergence complete, subs surfaced, fighters massed, batteries elevated. Heshcal bellowed, primitives yield. Vance smiled. Rook, your dreadnought awaits. Shields dropped, slugs hammered home, secondary explosions ripped the hull, direct hits, Rays yelled. Venting plasma, Heshcal's net choked, core breach, all hands. Vance watched the bloom, fleet remnants fled high, earth breathed, but Retribution rolled on, heuristics built the map. Punitive strikes halved their line, one dreadnought left limping, she keyed the final vector. Full convergence, end it. Rook's voice cut in, boarding now. Bridge in 5, Khatri grinned. Hammer primed. Bill paid in full, explosions lit the void, Heshcal's last transmission, how? Vance closed the channel, humans didn't explain, they collected, her console pinged, next fleet inbound, larger, she spun up the decoys. Cycle renewed. Rook reported from the bridge husk, core secured, patterns uploaded, they're predictable. Vance nodded to the grid, Earth stood, Bill forwarded, invaders learned late, never corner the engineer, Rays burst in. Scouts confirm, reinforcements jump in system. 5 times the tonnage. Vance cracked her knuckles. Good, more to bleed. Khatri patched the new drone feeds. Rook's teams already ghosted toward the Vanguard. The cradle hummed. War as system, input invasion, output extinction. Heshcal's successor broadcast surrender terms. Vance laughed once. Counter with coordinates, they pay first. Grid locked, rails spun, pay in full, rails thrummed, slugs launched in salvos, Vance's grid lit with impacts, the successor's fleet scattered, 2 cruisers blooming into debris. Surrender revoked, she transmitted. Pay the arrears. Rays swiped fresh scans. Enemy depot ring at L5, resupply cadence confirmed, every 72 hours, window closes for 6. Vance traced the pattern. Invaders dropped shields in sync, tractors hauling cryofuel pods, predictable, engineered flaw. Schedule strikes at window close. Rook, your teams drop cold entry in 48, hit the reservoirs. Affirm, Rook's voice crackled flat as ever. Pods prepped, ghost in, ghost boom. Khatri patched from engineering. Grav clamps salvaged from wreck, repurposed as mass drivers. Load 'em with debris packs, orbital mines on a timer. Vance nodded to the hollow. Prime them, sync to Rook's exit vector. Heshcal's successor snarled over open channel. Primitives, your rocks end here. Reinforcements inbound, yield or burn. She muted him. Log the threat. Heuristics update, doctrine bound. They escort resupply rigid. Grid spun projections. Thinning their siege meant forcing escorts. Capital ships diverted equaled main fleet weakness. She keyed fleet channels. All wings feint the core worlds, draw heavies off the ring. Rays relayed. Fighters streaked out. Alarms blared as alien pickets swarmed. Vance watched the cadence tick. 24 hours to window. Earth orbitals hummed below, rails charging on repurposed civvy hulls. No stands, just systems. Input arrogance, output attrition. Rook's feed dropped in. Black void, re-entry glow faint. His team punched atmoskip, no thrusters, cold entry. Depot ring in sight, tractor arrays live. Vance zoomed the grid, ring spun lazy, fuel pods clustered like fat ticks. Alien patrols lazy between windows. Breach the spine, reservoirs midline. Copy. Rook suit cam showed mag boots clamping hull. Silent breach charge puffed. Airlock cycled. His fire team ghosted in 6 operators, blades and suppressors only. HFY's voice cut net wide. Intruders at Depot Prime. Secure the cryo. Too late. Rook's team sliced through guards. Pulses whispered. Bodies slumped. Spine reached. Charges set. Vance's console pinged sync. Khatri mines away. Drivers firing. Khatri's grin flashed on split screen. Clamps hurled debris clusters, grav-locked into kill spheres. They ghosted toward intercept. Rook, pulling out detonation in 60. Explosions chained. Cryofuel ignited blue-white. The ring shattered, pods cooking off in sequence. Shrapnel clouds bloomed. Patrols vaporized mid-turn. HFY bellowed. Impossible, how did they? Vance ignored. Grid updated, depot gone, cadence broken. Their siege starved, rays whooped. Capitals diverting, 3 dreadnoughts peeling off to escort remnants. Perfect. Main fleet thinned. Vance plotted the gap. Wings converge, hammers on the siege line. Slugs hammered, shields cracked. Alien hulls vented, humans pressed, no waste. Rook's voice, exfil clean, patterns match, next cadence in 144, but they're rattled. Affirm. Vance spun decoys, dummy freighters, broadcasting civvy squawks. Invaders bit salvos chasing ghosts, Khatri patched schematics. Mines armed, grav clamps hold mass at 2G excel, debris packs laced with thermite they'll chew escorts. Vance approved. Deploy grids L4 to L2, funnel them. Scouts screamed inbound. Reinforcements jumped in system, tonnage 5-fold. HFY's successor broadcast. Witness your doom, humans, the Varak Dominion crushes, she countered. Coordinates forwarded, pay first. Fleet locked. Rails spun hotter, rays leaned in. They're forming up, Doctrine Square, Heavy's front light screening. Vance traced the funnel, mines waited silent. Rook repositioned teams to Vanguard Rex. Khatri overcharged the drivers. Done, they chorused. Invaders advanced. Probes pinged decoys. Salvos lit void. Humans held, slugs picking stragglers. First mine cluster triggered, debris swarmed, grav clamped into flak storms. Lights shredded, heavies bucked, shields flaring, HFY's net choked. Mines from scrap evasive, too slow. Rook's teams boarded a screening cruiser. Feeds showed, corridors cleared quiet, bridge secured. Core breached, uploading their nav logs. Vance integrated, patterns deepened. Cadence rigid escorts doctrinal. Wings exploit the hole, hammers inbound. Slugs converged. A dreadnought listed, secondaries popping. Invaders diverted more capitals, escort panic spreading. Khatri, new batch, clamps on fuel drums from the ring debris. Mass drivers hitting 5G, Vance grinned faint. Bill compounded. Earth orbitals breathed freer, factories churning slugs from scrap. Successor demanded parley. Cease terms, counter full withdrawal, she keyed strikes. Rails answered, Rook. Vanguard crippled, their siege thins to 40%. Grid confirmed. Humans bled them dry, no heroics. Just engineering, reinforcements pressed. Probes detected the pattern shift, HFY's pride cracking. They adapt too fast, divert all to resupply. Capitals scattered, main siege exposed. Vance, all assets, full convergence, end the cycle. Slugs flew, explosions chained. One dreadnought fled high, trailing plasma. Rays, they're breaking. Not yet. Heuristics pinged, next cadence plotted, but humans struck first. Rook's raid data flooded in Varak doctrine files, predictable to the core. Khatri, mines reloaded, ready for the bill. Vance closed on the limper. Boarding parties prep. Rook, inbound, bridge in 5. Hammers primed, fleet remnants converged, Earth stood taller, successor's last gasp, mercy, Vance cut it. Bill paid in full. Explosions lit the void, patterns uploaded. Next fleet inbound, larger still. She spun decoys, cycle renewed. Invaders cornered the engineer, now they paid, rays burst in. Scouts jumped signatures 10 times tonnage. Vance cracked knuckles. More to bleed. Khatri's drones fed live, Rook's ghosts flanked Vanguard. Cradle hummed, input invasion, output extinction, grid locked, rails spun, pay in full, but the successor's final log decrypted. Humans do not break, they bill. Vance archived it. Lesson logged, Earth waited resilient, new contacts solidified. HFY's replacement broadcast wide. Surrender or annihilation, she laughed once. Coordinates they pay first. Strikes queued, Rook, raids prepped, cadence mapped, Khatri, weapons hot, war as system, Bill forwarded eternal. Invaders learned, never underestimate the hand that cuts back. Rails thrummed louder. The void answered, scouts screamed closer. Vance traced their cadence flaw exposed again. Strike windows open, execute, teams dropped. Mines spun, hammers fell, Bill compounded. Humanity collected. One dreadnought broadcast panic. They're scrap, fights like gods. Vance muted. Gods didn't explain, they engineered. Grid bloomed fire, siege cracked wide. Rook, core secured, next pattern's yours. She nodded, earth breathed, retribution rolled. Reinforcements faltered, capitals diverted, escorts now the noose. Khatri, mass drivers overclocked, debris storms primed. Vance, funnel them in. Invaders bit doctrine, mines met them, shrapnel storms reaped lights, heavies bucked. Successor, how your tech primitive? Improvised. She transmitted logs, let them see. Panic spread, fleet fractured, wings pounced, slugs hammered home. One left limping, boarding pods launched. Rook, bridge ours. Explosions chained. Void cleared. Console pinged, next wave signatures. Vance spun the grid. Decoys out, patterns updated. Cycle eternal, bill due forever. Humans didn't ask, they demanded. Pay in full. Commander Mara Vance slammed her fist on the console. Hollow screens erupted in fractal overlays. Captured alien nav heuristics twisting into prediction webs. Patterns locked, she muttered. The bridge hummed under her feet, Earth's remnant fleet a skeletal fist clenched in the void. Invader signatures bloomed red on the tactical grid, their next wave barreling through safe lanes doctrine demanded. Vance dragged sliders, force-feeding the models fresh data from Rook's last raid. Vectors snapped into place. Safe lanes glowed green, predictable choke points the Xeno fleet hugged like scripture. She keyed comms. Khatri lanes mapped, seed them now, Doctor. Sana Khatri's voice crackled back, edged with grease and glee. Packets deploying. Civilian haulers rigged as debris fold out into kill webs on my mark. Rails singing hot. Vance watched the feed. Modified freighters, gutted civvy hulls, tumbled into the lanes, venting fake atmosphere plumes. To alien sensors, they registered as war scrap, harmless junk from prior skirmishes. Inside each, compressed kinetic nets, razor wire lattices laced with overclocked mass drivers. Khatri's babies, Vance traced a finger along the primary funnel. Invaders would pursuit chase Earth's decoy signatures right into it. Collision margins tight, Vance said. They bite doctrine, we reap the school. Affirm, primed for sync collapse. Khatri cut the line. Vance leaned back, eyes on the clock. Models predicted 87% herd rate, not perfect, but waste nothing lives or momentum. Earth pinned? No, they pinned back. Major Elia's Rook's icon pinged. Ground-up feed patched in. Grainy helmet cam from an alien comm node outpost, drifting in the outer lanes. Rook's team ghosted through corridors, breaching hatches with shaped charges. Node secured, Rook whispered, voice flat as vacuum. His gloved hand yanked a crystal core processor. Sparks flew. Injecting warnings now, falsified debris fields, herding them starboard into lane 3. Vance pulled up the sim. Rook's hack-painted phantom wrecks across enemy scopes, bogus collision alerts pulsing in their nav comms. Ships would jink right straight into Khatri's webs. She nodded to empty air. Rook didn't need theatrics, he delivered. Clean insert, she replied. Their heavies first. Pull out, affirm, dusting now. Muted thumps echoed, breach charges sealing their exit. Rook's cam spun to black as his pod detached, vanishing into the debris curtain. Invader signatures shifted. Vance's grid lit up. Lead destroyers veered, collision klaxons blaring in intercepted bursts. Heshkal's successor, some drone-brained zealot, barked orders from the dreadnought van. Evade debris, doctrine holds pursue the human remnants, Vance smirked. They chased her decoys, ghost signatures mimicking battered cruisers, bleeding false drive plasma, straight into the funnel. Status, she snapped fleet-wide. Escorts in position, came the chorus. Human rails thrummed charge, salvaged civvy accelerators, Khatri-tuned for void range punches. She watched the cascade build. First destroyer hit lane 3. Debris packet bloomed, unfolded into a glittering kill web. Kinetic strands lashed out, mass drivers spitting tungsten storms at Mach 20, hull plates shredded. Secondary explosions ripped the Xeno ship stem to stern. Web 1 live, Khatri reported. Reaping, panic rippled alien comms. Vance patched in their bridge chatter, translated on the fly. Collision, trap, it's a trap, More ships piled in. Falsified warnings herded the pack. Destroyer 2 tangled in Web 2, spinning wild as filaments sawed engines free. It plowed into a cruiser tailing it. Collision bloom lit the void orange. Vance triggered Phase 2. Sink collapse all lanes. Khatri's webs detonated in unison. Debris packets across 5 choke points erupted, thousands of kinetic slivers expanding at preset velocities. Safe lanes turned slaughter chutes. Invader heavies bucked, point defenses chewing slivers but overwhelmed. One battlecruiser shed armor in glittering sheets, slamming a frigate broadside. HFY's dreadnought loomed at the van, its authority broadcast booming. Primitives, your scrap defies physics. Vance muted him, physics bent for engineers. She vectored her escorts forward. Rails barked, slugs arcing precise, cracking shields. Human fire discipline, no spray, every shot a bill. A wing of corvettes broke formation, lunging for escape. Rook's voice cut in. Interceptors inbound, my raiders vectoring. Pods streaked from shadow hulks. Rook's spec ops latched onto fleeing hulls, breaching with diamond-tipped drills. Feeds split. One team torched a bridge, another spiked engines. Corvettes vented crew to space, tumbling dead. Vance adjusted the grid. Models updated real-time, next dodges predicted. Funnel holding, press. Alien formation fractured. Heavies reversed thrust, crushing lighter ships in the crush. Khatri's storms reaped the chaos, shrapnel veils shredding sensor masts. One destroyer broadcast surrender freaks before Web 3 pulped it. HFY's dreadnought fired wild, lancing void with plasma lances. Vance's flagship shuddered, a glancing hit. Alarms wailed, she gripped the console. Evasive, rails counter. Slugs hammered back. Dreadnought shields flared, cracking. HFY's voice rose, doctrine cracking. How your worlds burn your tech scrap. Improvisation, Vance transmitted. She dumped logs, nav models, web schematics, let them choke on it, panic chained. Fleet remnants scattered, plowing mutual kills. Last cruiser spun into a web, erupting in fireballs. HFY's dreadnought limped, escorts gone. Boarding pods, Vance ordered. Rook bridge, pods away. Rook's tone never rose, precision incarnate, pods latched. Explosions chained through the dreadnought, bulkheads breached, reactors spiked. Rook's chem hit the bridge, Xenos in rebreathers clawing at consoles. His team cut through, quiet and final. Core secured, Rook said. HFY neutralized, patterns yours, Vance exhaled. Grid cleared to ghosts. Earth breathed freer, but signatures pinged anew, reinforcements warping in. She spun models, decoys queued. Cycle restarts, bill compounds, Khatri patched in. New webs spinning, faster this time. Rook, raids mapped. Invaders learned late, humans planned the disaster. Ahead, always, Vance traced the next funnel. Their safe lanes, hers now, fleet thrummed alive, Retribution rolled eternal. But the ping sharpened, dozens of signatures heavier, not pursuit. Assault core, she keyed all channels. Incoming wave mast, patterns shifting. HFY's final log crackled through captured nodes, his successor's voice laced with fury. They engineer doom, doctrine evolves, overwhelm. Vance's screens bloomed threats, models recalibrated, 62% herd rate, tighter, riskier. Khatri double webs, Rook node priories on heavies. Affirm. She watched the void, Earth waited no more, bill due in full paid in hulls, rails charged louder, the hand that planned struck first. New safe lanes mapped, traps seeded anew, her superpower hummed cold. They chased, into the web. Commander Mara Vance slammed her fist on the console. Hollow screens erupted anew, fresh heuristics from Rook's prize flooding the stack. Patterns locked, she said. The cycle ground on, but this wave packed carriers. Fighters would swarm the webs. Conflict sharpened. She dragged vectors, improvised deeper. Khatri anti-fighter lures in the packets. Modding now, shrapnel blooms with chaff bursts. Rook pinged. Nodes targeted, herding fighters into killboxes. Vance nodded. Aliens skilled at swarm doctrine, humans. Turned it against. Grid updated, pursuit signatures bit, warnings injected, lanes filled, webs unfolded. Fighters tangled first, shredded in kinetic storms. Carriers followed, plowing debris wakes. HFY's successor broadcast cracked. Impossible, your debris. Fights like gods. Vance transmitted schematics again. Engineered. Cascade hit peak. Carriers buckled, spilling wrecks. Human rails picked heavies clean. One carrier broke through, lancing fire. Vance's bridge bucked, shields held. Counter, she snapped. Slugs punched home. Carrier vented. Void cleared. Pings faded, but deeper signatures hummed. Flag Admiral inbound. Vance spun the grid. Bill Eternal, pay up. She keyed teams. Next phase, core worlds vectored. Earth's noose tightened. Invaders blinked first. Models predicted 94%. Her hand itched for the trigger. Disaster planned. Delivered. Dem Commander Mara Vance slammed the invasion logs onto her hologrid. Fresh data from the last carrier kills scrolled. Hull signatures, command pings, service spines. Heshkal's fleet flagship glowed red, prime target vector locked inbound. She dragged profiles, survivors from ground teams, engineering scraps, special ops ghosts. Roster built in seconds, 12 names vetted for the deep strike. Teams assembled, she transmitted fleet-wide. Rook, you lead the flag raid, infiltrate the external service spine. Plant beacon charges on all command modules. Detonate on my mark, no fallback, no extraction. Static crackled, Rook's voice cut clean. Confirmed, Commander, spine access in 12 minutes. Charges prepped. Vance nodded to the bridge crew. Screens flickered with approach vectors. Heshkal's monster loomed, kilometer-long behemoth, shields pulsing, escorts fanning out. Earth's remnants, scattered rails, hidden launchers, faced odds of 90-1. Khatri patched in from the surface bunker. Power surge timed Vance, civilian grids overdriven, every launcher gets one volley, miss and we're dark. Do it, Vance said. Sync to my order. The flagship closed, escorts probed, lasers raking empty void. Vance watched her webs, debris fields laced with rails, snagged 2 scouts. Explosions bloomed silent. Heshkal's broadcast hit open channels. Primitives, your traps end here. Surrender your core or we glass it. Vance ignored him. Her grid pulsed green, Rook's ping. Infiltration live. Major Elia's Rook magnetized his boots to the flagship's hull. Service spine loomed ahead, a ribbed exhaust trench, venting plasma in rhythmic bursts. No patrols here, Doctrine skipped externals. He sliced a maintenance hatch with monofilament cutter. Zero-G tugged him inside, pipes hummed, conduits glowed alien blue. Spine breached, he whispered into comms. Advancing to modules, Vance's voice, copy, volleys prepped, hold dead until pinned. Rook ghosted forward, bulkheads whispered pressure seals. He slapped Beacon 1 onto the first command node, quantum tag synced to Earth's arrays. Charge armed, kinetic burrower 5-second melt, footsteps echoed, patrol drone word into view. Rook flattened against conduit, drone scanned past, he exhaled, 2 more beacons. Faster now, second node, third, hull shuttered, distant impacts, human rails barking. Beacon set, Rook said, ready to cook. Vance's bridge rocked. Heshkal's escorts returned fire, slugs glancing shields. Her fleet, 3 corvettes, battered rails, held formation. Launchers hot, she asked. Khatri, surge peaking, 60 seconds to overdrive. Admiral's voice boomed again. Your resistance insults the Krath Dominion, yield. Vance keyed the volley. Fire all hidden banks, pin that flag. Earth lit up. Civilian towers, repurposed reactors, dumped grids into rails. Hidden launchers erupted. Thousands of slugs, precision-guided from Khatri's mods. No wild barrage, surgical storm. Slugs hammered the flagship's shields. Blue fields flared white, buckling under massed kinetic. Escorts scattered, 2 venting atmosphere. Heshkal roared, impossible, shields at 20%, evasive. Vance gripped her console. Grid showed the pin, flagship slowed, spines exposed, perfect. Rook, she snapped, detonate now. Rook thumbed the trigger. Beacons pulsed. Command modules vented plasma, critical hits, cascading failures. Alarms wailed alien tongues. He jetted back to the hatch. Hull buckled under volley fire. Drones swarmed the spine. Charges live, Rook reported. Flag command crippled, exiting. Lasers stitched the trench. One grazed his suit, seals held. He launched into void, thrusters cold firing toward pickup drone. Flagship listed. Core breach warnings flashed on his HUD relay. Vance watched the cascade. Flagship's engines flickered. Command blacked out, beacons did their work. Escorts peeled off, disorganized. Heshkal's channels sputtered. What sorcery is this, my bridge, blind? Engineered, Vance transmitted. Schematics followed, beacon specs, surge timings. Pay the bill, Khatri whooped. Grids fried but volley clean, launchers cold. Rook's drone pinged pickup. Clear, flags done. Vance spun the grid, remaining invaders milled, doctrine shattered. Her rails retasked, core strikes cued. 1 corvette bucked hard, enemy counterslug punched through. Crew stations vented. Shields reforming, Ensign called, Heshkal rallied. All ships reform on flag, crush their audacity. Vance dragged new vectors. Earth's noose snapped tighter. Invaders chased deeper into fresh webs, but the flagship stabilized, backup cores online. It accelerated, lasers carving space. They're adapting, Khatri warned, Vance's fist clenched, roster rebuilt in her mind, next targets those backups. Rook, prep for round 2, she said. Khatri, salvage those grids. Flag loomed larger. Bill came due. Doctor. Sana Khatri wiped sweat from her brow in the bunker. Screens showed the volley's toll, flagship limping but escorts regrouping. Power conduits smoked around her. Grids need 20 minutes, she told Vance. Hijacking orbital sats for auxiliary. Do it, Vance replied. Khatri yanked panels. Civilian solar arrays, jury-rigged amplifiers hummed to life. She overclocked converters, sparks flying, output spiked. Surface shakes rattled the bunker. Enemy dropships probed atmospheres. Anti-fighter blooms ready, Khatri said. Lures deployed. Vance Good heard them. Khatri patched drone feeds. Rook's ride ghosted toward a Corvette. Clean insert, her hands flew. One more mod, rail slugs laced with EMP chaff. Anti-swarm. Payload updated, she transmitted. Fire when ready. Rook sealed into the Corvette bay. Medics swarmed, burn patch on his leg. Flags backups kicking, he told Vance via Tightbeam. Need inside job. Negative, Vance said. Surface teams vectoring you planetside, spine raids on escorts next. Rook nodded, suit off. Payne lanced, ignored. He grabbed fresh charges. Corvette shuddered, escort fire. Rook braced. Vance's grid updated. Patterns locked, HFY's remnants funneled into kill lanes. Vance slammed fist again. Hollow showed the Admiral's fleet compressing. Carriers emptied fighters, swarms blotting stars. Lures out, she ordered. Khatri's blooms detonated, shrapnel clouds laced with chaff. Fighters dove in, sensors fried. Rails spoke, swarms shredded, HFY broadcast fractured. Debris, it hunts us, fall back to core lanes. No, Vance muttered. Her screens pinged, core world's data pulled from logs. Jump points mapped, she keyed all channels. Humanity's bill, 1 Dominion fleet, payable now. Escorts plowed chaff wakes. Rails gutted them, carriers buckled, one broke through. Lasers raked her Corvette. Bridge alarms screamed. Shields critical, Ensign yelled. Vance held steady. Counterfire, slugs answered, carrier vented. Void cleared, pings faded, deeper signatures hummed, reinforcements. No, HFY's flag, desperate lunge. Rook, Vance said. Escort spines, all teams. Copy, Khatri, sats live, second surge building. Vance itched for the endgame. Earth didn't beg, it billed. Flagship closed, shields thin, spines ripe. Pin it, she whispered. Then collect. HFY gripped his throne as modules sparked. Human beacons, primitive genius. Bridge crew scrambled, backup straining. Status, he bellowed. Command at 40%, vectors lost. Humans transmitted again, full schematics, mockery. Primitives improvise, he snarled. We doctrine crush. Sensors cleared chaff. Earth rails glinted. Another volley built, worse. Evade, too late. Slugs hammered, hulls screamed. Vance watched the final pin, launchers, Khatri's miracles roared again, flagship staggered. Rook, detonate. Beacons flashed, core breach, HFY's voice cut. You, demand. Vance smiled cold, paid in full. Flagship bloomed fire. Wreckage tumbled into webs, fleet remnants scattered, pursuit vectors locked, bill settled, next debtors waited. Vance slammed the broadcast key. All channels, fleet-wide, play it. The ensign's fingers flew. HFY's final transmission crackled across open space, guttural snarls, bridge alarms wailing, his voice breaking. You, primitives, demand. Static swallowed the rest. Explosion rumble followed, then silence. Humanity's bill echoed in every invader cockpit. Sensors lit up. Remnant squadrons, 30 cruisers, escorts trailing, shattered formation. No unified vector. Captains barked overrides. One cluster burned hot for the outer jump point, drives glowing naked. Another peeled toward lunar debris fields. Third looped back, guns hot, firing blind on phantoms. Fracture confirmed, the ensign said. They're running scared. Vance nodded. HFY's death ripped their spine. Doctrine demanded cohesion. Panic bred exposure. Tag them, Rook, your team's set. Rook's voice cut in gravel steady. Spines prepped on 5 escorts. Beacons armed, say go. Khatri sats, full coverage, she replied. Second surge primed, civilian haulers rigged as mines, jump in 10. Vance gripped her console. Last reserves, 2 corvettes, skeletal crews. Earth's orbitals gutted, colonies ash. No mercy left, just the bill. Commit all, running intercept, primary, drive burners, cut their legs. engines thrummed. Her flagship battered USS Reckoning surged forward, rails charged with a whine. Escorts fanned out chaff dispensers spinning. First cluster loomed, 8 cruisers, engines flaring blue-white. Panic burns ionized their exhaust, no evasive weave, just raw thrust. Fire, Vance ordered, rails spat tungsten death, slugs punched drives. First cruiser vented plasma, spinning wild. Second's engines cratered, beacons from Rook's raids bloomed inside, shredding cores. Wreckage bloomed like dirty fireworks. Invaders scattered harder. Second cluster dove for debris. Lunar rocks laced with Khatri surprises. "Sats away," Khatri said. "Impact in 3. Vance tracked pings, her corvettes closed the loop. Last reserves danced through rail fire, lasers kissing hulls. One took a hit, shields flickered, but she held. Humans didn't break, debris field erupted. Sats detonated in sequence. Shrapnel storms gutted 3 cruisers, exposed bellies shredded, escape pods jettisoned, ignored. Third cluster turning, sensors officer called. Regroup attempt, guns live. Vance's lips thinned, desperate, predictable. Flank them, Rook now. Copy. Detonations rippled across spines. Escorts buckled from within. Beacons chained reactions, ammo bays cooked off. Humans turned junk into knives. Reckoning closed. Point defense chewed drones. Main battery roared. Lead invaders' bridge vaporized. Flankers crumpled. Remnants 10 ships burned erratic. Drives exposed, begging slugs. Vance watched the tally climb. No taunts, just execution. Earth survivors huddled in bunkers. This paid their invoice. A new ping spiked. Tight beam surrender freak. Human commander. "This is Captain Vrel of the Dominion frigate Shadow's Edge. We yield, cease fire." Vance paused the chase, vectors held. "Patch through." Vrel's image flickered, scaled face pale, eyes darting. Bridge chaos behind, medics hauling wounded, consoles smoking. "Your terms." "State them," she leaned in, cold steel in her voice. "Full surrender, all ships power down, cruise to pods, no weapons, no drives, you'll tow your dead. And you'll swear this, Dominion banned from Sol forever. One ship jumps in, we glass your core worlds." Vrel flinched. Crew muttered, language barrier cracked, translators struggled with glass. But they knew humans didn't bluff. "Agreed," he rasped. "On my command codes." "Transmit now, Rook, verify." Rook grunted approval. Codes flooded in, ships went dark one by one, drives cooled. Pods launched, beacons pulsing surrender. Vance exhaled, bill collected, but sensors hummed deeper. Outer edges stirred, probes, reinforcements. "Ensign, scan wide, Khatri, prep the haulers." "Aye," Khatri said. "Invoices stacking." Fleet went quiet, pods drifted. Reckoning's med bays prepped for boardings, interrogations, intel. Rook's teams zipped across voids, securing hulks. Vance stood, bridge crew watched her. Bruised, alive. "Good work, Earth stands." Cheers rose, short and fierce. No waste, no symbols, just results. But the deep hum grew, not probes, jump signatures, massive, Dominion backup fleet. She keyed Rook. "Spines reloaded. Always. Khatri." Third surge hot. Vance smiled thin. Next deaders inbound. Bill just got longer. Hours blurred into salvage ops. Rook's spec ops boarded hulks, slicing Dominion drives for study. Khatri's teams swarmed wrecks, ripping Xenotech. Vance paced her flag bridge, eyes on hollows. Surrender pods clustered like obedient sheep. Vrel's frigate yielded prime data, core worlds coords, fleet manifests. Humanity's engineers would feast, then alarms spiked. "Jump flares," Ensign yelled. "Outer perimeter, 15 signatures, heavy cruisers." Backup, Heshkal's reserve force late to the slaughter. Vance spun. "Status on remnants." "All secured," Rook reported. "Drives cold." "Good." Khatri mined the lanes. Deploying. Invaders materialized, hulking wedges, shields thick. Scans showed confusion, no flag ping, wrecks everywhere, their commander broadcast wide. "This is Admiral Treshvor, identify invaders, Heshkal, respond." Vance keyed all channels. Played the audio again, Heshkal's death rattle. Then her voice, "Bill paid, yours due." Treshvor's feed glitched, rage twist. "Primitives, you dare." Rails answered first. Reckoning's barrage streaked. Escorts, Rooks boarded prizes, lit up, spines venting stolen Dominion fury. Cruisers evaded, doctrine kicking in. Coordinated weave. Lasers raked voids, but humans adapted. Sats pinged weak points. Haulers, Khatri's miracles, jumped in close, bellies packed with rail slugs. Proximity blasts hammered flanks. One cruiser buckled. Rook's team inside another, beacons flashed. Internal bloom, Treshvor snarled orders. "Crush them." Vance committed reserves. Corvettes swarmed, point defense a blizzard. They took hits, hulls scarred, but pressed. Intercept locked, she said. Pin the flag, reckoning closed. Drive strained. Enemy fire grazed, alarms wailed. Shields at 20. Hold. Vance gripped rails, slugs flew, Treshvore's wedge shuddered. Pods from earlier hulks. No, Rook's raiders jetting across, boarding torpedoes punched. Inside chaos, Dominion Marines clashed with Spec Ops. Quiet precision won. Bridges fell, Treshvore's signal cut. New voice, Rook. Flag secured, Admiral in custody. Vance allowed a nod. Extract all ships, cease fire on yields. More surrenders crackled, fractures spread. Exposed drives begged payment. Hours later, Treshvore faced her on bridge feed, manacled, scales dull. How we outmassed. Improvisation, Vance said. You do doctrine, we bill, he spat. Core worlds will. Band starts now. Transmit the oath. Rook's blade hovered. Treshvore broke. Codes flowed. Fleet powered down. Vance cut the feed. Rook, Khatri, strip them clean. Ensign, plot for coreward jumps. Earth's remnants cheered from bunkers, feeds live. Humanity billed in full, but deep scans pinged again. Larger signatures, the real fleet. She cracked knuckles. Invoice grew. Debtors queued. Rook patched in. Ready for round 3. Vance eyed the stars. Bill them double. Salvage fleets swelled. Khatri reverse-engineered drives overnight. Human jumps now outpaced Dominion. Rook trained captured crews, turning blades inward. Vance broadcast the terms galaxy-wide. Sol invoice, one empire's hubris, paid or pursued. Replies trickled, probes from neighbors wary, no debtors yet. Then the big ping. Core fleet, 50 heavies, carriers thick. Admiral's voice boomed. Primitives yield Sol or burn. Vance smiled. Bills here, pay up. Rails charged, beacons primed. Humanity collected.